Hey, good evening, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope you all are having a great start to the new week. I love Mondays. Mondays mean fresh beginnings, new starts, a new time for just a reset and a restart. So I love Mondays. It also means that after the weekend, my kids go back to whatever they were doing, and so especially now because they were home at the end of last weekend, so they're back in camp and getting back into their routine, which is nice. Not that we didn't have a great time, because we did, but it is nice to have them back into their routine and for me to be able to get back into my routine of coaching and supporting my clients and taking care of the things that I need to take care of. So all is good with Mondays. I love them. So today, I was calling today Myth Busting Monday, and I don't know if you saw my post from this morning where I posted my picture from my journey and talked about my number one myth that used to hold me back, which was about willpower, right? The thinking that I needed to have good willpower in order to actually lose weight and get healthy. And that myth was totally busted for me, right? Because in truth, it's not about willpower. If I relied on willpower, I can tell you I would not be sitting here almost 3.5 years later at a healthy weight. I would have failed a long time ago, right? What we really need, and I talked about this in my post, is why power. The power of why we're doing it. The power of why we're ready to get healthy. Hey, Irina. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Micah. That's a big myth for a lot of people, right? That we need to have strong willpower in order to get healthy. But anybody that is relying solely on willpower, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to fail at some point, right? Willpower will take us to some distance in our journey. For some people, willpower takes them all the way through till they get to their weight loss goal. But then when they get past that, and then they get into their optimization and they get into their transition, willpower at some point goes away, right? Those old bad habits. If we're not changing our habits, if our why isn't strong enough, that's when we go back to old bad habits. And that's when we fall back off, right? And that for me has been so key in keeping my weight loss, is that I didn't go back to relying on willpower. I still use the tools that were given to me and the community that was given to me and the coaching that was given to me. All those things, that's how I keep my weight off. But I want to talk about some other myths tonight, because there are a lot of myths that surround weight loss and getting healthy in general, right? That if we bust these myths, if we knock them out of the water, we can clear away that and we can stop using them as excuses for why we're not getting healthy, why we're not doing that, because that's what these myths do, right? These myths give us an excuse to say it's okay when we mess up, right? That myth about it's all about, my willpower is not strong enough, that for a long time was my excuse, right? When I would mess up, when I would fall off, I have no willpower, right? It was a great excuse. It was a great reason to fall off. So I want to go through some of these really common myths and blow them out of the water, so that if any of these are ringing true in your head as to why you're not starting your healthy journey, or why you are struggling with your healthy journey, let's blow them up. And if you have a myth, if you have something that you know that you're struggling with, stick it in the comments. It might be one of the ones that I'm going to go through, but it might not be. And if it's not, we'll tackle it, right? Right here, we'll tackle it tonight. So the first myth number one that people think, is that it is impossible to lose weight at a certain point, right? I hear this a lot, whether it's because of age, whether it's because, I hear it with women, oh, I'm going through menopause, I'm going through this, I have a thyroid condition, I have a this, I have a that, whatever it is, my body just can't lose weight. Baloney, okay? I am here to tell you, as a professional yo-yo dieter, as someone who struggled with weight, and that was one of my myths. That was one of my big myths when I started. When I went through getting started, and I said to my coach, I said, this program's not going to work for me. My body is broken. I've done everything under the sun. I've totally messed up my metabolism. If you can relate to this, please raise your hand, right? And she laughed at me, literally laughed at me, and said, Leslie, your body's not broken. I promise you this program will work. It is based in science. Basically what she was saying to me is, why do you think you're so special that it works for everybody else, right? You see all the transformation stories that I post of clients who have been successful. It works for everybody else. Why do you think you're so special that it wouldn't work for you, right? Myth number one, it's impossible to lose weight. It's not impossible to lose weight. It could be hard work. You have to make some changes. You have to understand your body. You have to tap in to what's going to make you successful. But I can tell you, it's not impossible. And if you work with me, I can give you those predictable transformations, right? You want to be one of those predictable transformations? We can do that here. That's myth number 1. It is not impossible to lose weight. Jackie, I said I could never lose enough weight to make a difference in my health. And look at you now, Jackie. You have lost, how much weight have you lost now, Jackie? Put it in the comments how much you've lost. But you're off your CPAP machine, you're walking a 3K, you're doing all kinds of crazy things that you never thought you could do, right? And you are rocking this. It is not impossible to lose weight. You just have to find the program that works for you and the support system that works for you to keep you going. So myth number 1, busted. It's not impossible to lose weight. So if that's driving you and you're afraid it's impossible to lose weight, I challenge you to reach out to me and take my weight loss challenge. And if you don't lose weight in 30 days, I'll give you some major prize, because I can guarantee if you stick to my program, you're going to lose weight. I can guarantee it. Myth number 2, to lose weight, you only need to eat less and exercise more. Okay? That's a big, big myth, right? Big myth. Exercise is super duper important for cardiovascular health. Jackie has lost 70 pounds. Sorry, I'm waylaying off my myth number 2. Jackie has lost 70 pounds. Let's give her some cheers. Woohoo, Jackie, 70 pounds for the person who never thought she could lose enough weight to make a difference in her health. 70 pounds and rocking it and looking awesome. Back to myth number 2. Yay, Jackie. Back to myth number 2. To lose weight, you only need to eat less and exercise more. So that's a huge myth. First of all, exercise is super, super, super important for cardiovascular health and for muscle toning. So please do not get me wrong that I'm telling you that exercise is not good, because exercise is really important. But when it comes to losing weight, exercise is one small piece, right? It's 80% nutrition and probably even higher than that, but they say 80% nutrition, 20% exercise, right? So, because that's great for muscle toning. But let me tell you, as someone who tried to exercise off the weight, you cannot out-exercise your fork, right? If you are not giving your body the proper fuel, I don't care how much you're exercising, it's going to catch up to you. I tried it. I am a victim of that. I have definitely tried that route. I actually lost a whole lot of weight working with a doctor on a crazy program that I should never have been on, that we don't even need to talk about, and working out with a personal trainer and working out like a crazy lunatic, right? I was walking 10 to 15 miles a day. I was with a trainer 3 days a week, intense training, and I did lose a bunch of weight. But then what happened was my body plateaued because I wasn't giving it the proper nutrition. My body plateaued, and within 6 months, after losing a whole lot of weight over the course of 2 years, within 6 months, I put almost all that weight back on, right? Not good. Exercise is important, right? I was strong, but I was not healthy. I was not healthy at all. And studies have shown that there are so many other factors with weight loss. So exercise, please exercise, because it's important. But when it comes to weight loss, that's not what's going to get the weight off. What's going to get the weight off is proper nutrition and proper balance, caloric balance, right? I hear this a lot from people. Oh, I'm exercising all this and I'm only eating, a few calories. Well, you know what's going to happen if you're not eating enough, if you're not giving your body enough energy to burn, the right energy to burn, right? Your body goes into conservation mode and you hold on to everything that comes in, and it actually works in the reverse and you end up gaining weight. So that is myth number 2 busted. The key to losing weight is not just eating less and exercising more. You have to have the right balance between the two. Sherry says the myth that you must stay on the program, good to have continued success. You can use the tools, knowledge, and support to maintain. Absolutely, Sherry. You need the tools, right, to maintain. That is for sure. You need to change your habits. You need to change your life. You need to find that balance for you. And when you do that, that's when you're going to keep that weight off. Yes, Optavia, it's amazing. It's amazing the things that you learn. And that's what it is. It's the tools to teach you how to do it and to give you the support and the guidance and the ongoing long-term support so that you can do it. Myth number 3 is that all calories are equal. Nope, all calories aren't equal. Yes, 80% kitchen, 20% gym, absolutely. All calories are not equal, right? I can have 100 calorie, big salad that is 100 calories, right? That's full of nutrition, that's got got vegetables in it and protein in it, and right, a tremendous thing. And I can have a 100 calorie chocolate bar, right? Those calories are not equal, right? They're not equal. It's 100 calories, but the way our body's going to process it is totally, totally different, right? So you have to make sure that you're getting the right balance of nutrition in those calories, because calorie is an energy. But when you're getting it all from sugar, right, which would be a candy bar, and you're not getting any nutrition, that's not good for your body. That's not doing anything good for your body. So all calories are not equal. So if somebody says, when you put in, if you're going to go on a caloric-based program and somebody gives you your TEE, your total energy expenditure, what your body needs, which is important to know. If you're going on an all-calorie-based program, you need to know your TEE. And if you ever need help running that, just let me know. I'm happy to help you run that number, right? You need to know that TEE. And say your TEE says you need 1,500 calories, right? Okay. Well, you can get 1,500 calories in a whole lot of ways. But if you're getting 1,500 calories filled from junk, you're not giving your body the nutrition it needs, and you're not going to end up losing that weight, and you're going to end up feeling gross and lethargic, and it's going to be bad all the way around. Sherry, historical romance fiction versus a reference book. They're both good. They're both books. Exactly. They're very different, and they give you very different knowledge, though, and they're both good in different ways, right? Candy bar is great sometimes as a treat, but that's not where your calories should come from, right? Myth number 4. You need to lose substantial weight to notice major health changes. That's not true either. That is not true at all. I can tell you, my body was so full of inflammation when I first started my program. Hey, Gail, that I ached all over. My hips hurt. I would have major headaches. My cycles were all wacky, all these things. And within the first month, I no longer had the pain from the inflammation. My hips no longer hurt. My knees no longer hurt. My cycles regulated themselves out. All kinds of things that were all out of balance. And it wasn't a whole huge weight loss, right? In the first 6 weeks, I lost about 20 pounds, which is nice. I went on to lose a total of 75 or a little over 75, right? But major health improvements came right at the beginning. Yep, Sherry, you noticed in the first 2 weeks, always. I always see that. My husband, when he went on program, hey, Amanda, when he went on program, he had been told, he had been to the doctor, and he had a sleep apnea test because he snored horribly, and the doctor said, you need a CPAP machine. And he said, I don't want that CPAP machine. No way, no how. And the doctor said, fine, you don't want it. You need to go lose 45, 50 pounds. And so he said, okay. He said, I'm on it. And he came home and he said, okay, Leslie, I'm ready for your program, because I had been coaching for a couple months at this point. And he got on program, and within the first 2 weeks, his snoring was totally gone. He didn't snore anymore. There was no more me elbowing him saying roll over because he was snoring constantly. It was gone. He never did need that CPAP machine. I see this all the time with clients, that cholesterol numbers drop within the first month. Blood sugar numbers drop right away, and people have to start getting off their blood sugar meds. Amazing results very quickly when you are, start getting healthy right away. It doesn't take huge weight loss. So that is the next myth number 4 busted, that you don't have to have tremendous weight loss to start seeing health changes. Amanda, Nick said I definitely said I've been storing less. Yep, exactly. I believe it, right? I actually have a client who is not on tonight. I know she is out camping, so I'm not going to call her out, but she's usually on here. She's out camping with her family, but when she started, she never slept through the night. She couldn't sleep through the night. And by the 3rd night on plan, she was sleeping through the night. It was the first time in years that she had been able to sleep through the night, and she's sleeping amazingly, right? I hear these things all the time. I love it every time a client calls me and tells me these things, but I'm never surprised, because this is what happens very quickly when you start giving your body that proper nutrition and getting yourself into good health. I have so many stories like that about clients, over almost 3.5 years of people successes like that. Next myth is myth number 5. Americans are overweight because we eat too much. Okay, so that's a huge myth. Oh, I've got a little boy who woke up. Hey, buddy, you need to go back to sleep.
I can't fall asleep.
You can fall asleep. Say hello. Okay, go get some water and then go back to sleep. We got a little visitor. So myth number 5, that Americans are overweight because we eat too much. The truth is, a lot of times when I talk to clients or potential clients, they're not eating enough, right? That's a big thing that people think, oh, well, if I don't eat too much, I'm going to start losing weight. They start skipping meals, right? We hear about all these crazy things where people are skipping meals, they're not eating enough, and then their body's going, what I talked about before, that's going into conservation mode, and it's holding on to every single thing that comes in. So you really need to know what your body needs so that to give your body that proper energy. There are so many different factors into why we're overweight. But some people are eating too much. Some people are overeating or overeating the wrong things. But a big part of it is there are a lot of people out there that aren't eating enough. The next one they talk about is willpower, but I've already hit on that one. The next thing, one of the other myths that they say is you need to, myth number, I don't know, we're on 5, 6, you need to wear a fitness tracker to keep tabs on your progress. You don't. Actually, I love my Fitbit, and I actually wear both the Fitbit and the Samsung watch. But you don't need to do that to keep track of your progress, right? They're great for people who want concrete information, but if you've gotten up off your tush and gotten moving, right? You can set a basic alarm on your phone if you sit too much, right? Americans, we've become an indoor species. We sit 9 to 10 hours a day. Most of us sit right in front of computers, in front of, whatever, and we don't move. We don't need a fitness tracker to remind us of that, right? We just need to get up and get moving, right? So I actually have a little alarm that goes off every hour, and every hour that it goes off, I get up, and if I haven't gotten up and walked, I get up and walk, and I just pace and get some steps in, right? Making that a conscious effort, right, to get moving. When I'm on the phone with clients, I pace back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, right? Because it keeps me moving. Otherwise, I'd sit here in front of my computer all day and I wouldn't get anything done. So those are some of my top myths that we are busting out, that are top excuses for people to not get healthy, right? Or things that they feel are holding them back. And what we need to do is we need to really, each one of us, take and say, why am I not getting healthy, right? Asking ourselves those questions, those deep questions, and really letting ourselves admit to it and find if it's an excuse, right? Because if it's, a reason is usually another word for an excuse, right? And bust that myth and start to change that and start to come up with, the reasons why we're going to get healthy. Make those shifts. Right? Start breaking some of those myths. Another big myth that people have is that it is cheaper to eat healthy. To eat junk food, right? That it's cheaper that we save money by eating junk food. The truth is, that's not really true. Actually, eating unhealthy is much more expensive. I can't even tell you how many people I talk to who say, well, I'm going to go through the fast food drive-thru and grab my lunch because it's a cheaper lunch. No, it generally isn't. And by the end of the week, you've probably spent a lot more than you would have if you had just gone to the grocery store and stocked up on good, healthy foods. And there's a lot of ways to do that. And there are a lot of places you can buy stuff, when there's stuff on sale and stick it in the freezer, right? And meal prep and freeze it and have it ready. And I can guarantee to you, you're going to save money doing that. And even if it isn't, even if it's a wash, even if it's a little bit more expensive, even if you really are saving money on junk food, right? Ramen noodles and pasta and cereal that is all a bunch of junk and terrible for you, right? And not doing drive-thrus. Even if you're saving money on that, it's costing you in other ways. People who are overweight spend an average of $1,500 more a year than someone who is at a healthy weight, right? Doctors' bills are higher. They miss more work because they aren't healthy and they end up sick, right? Insurance costs go up when you're at an unhealthy weight. I actually have somebody who came to me because they needed help because they were applying for long-term care insurance and she couldn't get it because she was over the weight that they needed. And so she couldn't get the insurance that she needed. And so she has to lose 60 pounds in order to qualify for that insurance. That's a big deal, right? That plays a big deal. And the longer you wait, something like that, the earlier in your life that you get that kind of insurance, the cheaper it is, right? If you wait until you're every year older that you are, the price on it goes up. So it ends up costing you more money. So being overweight actually is usually more expensive to people. Plus, when you're overweight, you end up sick much more often, right? 3 years ago, before I started getting healthy, I used to pick up every single bug my kids walked into the house with, right? I would get sick, and starting as a teen, I would get sick. Every winter, I would get a head cold, and it would always go to my chest, and I would always end up with bronchitis every year, and it would linger and linger and linger and linger. My body couldn't fight it off. Since I made changes to my health, I haven't had it once. I have not had bronchitis once in 3 years, which is amazing since I used to have it every single year at least once, right? And sometimes it would turn into pneumonia, and it was bad. Now, if I catch a head cold, 24 hours, maybe 48 hours, it's usually gone pretty quickly because my body can fight it off because my body is healthy and I'm giving it proper nutrition. So that alone, I don't go to doctor. I mean, I go to doctors for my annual physical, but I don't go to doctors for sick visits anymore, which has saved me a ton of money. I used to be at the doctor all the time because I was always sick, right? So being healthy, though sometimes putting out those costs to start that pattern might be a little bit more, but when you're talking money, what is your health worth to you? That's actually what my husband asked me when I first started, right? I said to him, I was like, this is, I don't know that I can afford this. And he said, we can't afford for you not to do this. And it was so true because in the long run, it has saved my life in so many ways. So I'd love to hear from you. What are your big myths? What are the things, if you are on a health journey, what are some of the things, the myths that you believed before you started? And if you're not yet on a health journey, what are some of the things that are holding you back? Reach out. Let's chat through them. Let's talk through them and see how we can get you past them. See if we can bust some of those myths so that you can get where I am, right? 3 years down at a healthy weight and never, ever, ever going back. So I hope you have a great night. I am going to wrap up things here because I want to get my healthy sleep because that is super important. That is another very important topic, that sleep plays a crucial role in staying healthy and keeping your weight off. So I hope you have a great night, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow. Bye.